I just love you guys, and I appreciate you being here for us, and I appreciate you doing the things that we are doing, and I appreciate you building this. Please like this episode as well as every other episode you do enjoy going on right now that I'm very excited about. And I see Doge, and I see the realignment of the educational system coming together for a real unique opportunity that we haven't had in a long time. And that's exciting more and more each day. It all comes back to coming back to yourself, taking your you have three brains, right? You have the brain of the head, you have the brain of the heart, and you have the brain of the gut, gut instinct, right? I would love to really be able to get into some comfortable situations where we can start feeding back into the community that we haven't had in a long time. If we take the right approach, we have the ability to really dramatically affect not only the children grow, we can start turning revenues and rolling them into, for instance, here in the small town, seeing what kind of effects we have. We have coming up very shortly, as much as we should. And I think this is probably the strongest because it has emotion as well. And then those two signal to the brain to send out the chemicals that do the work that needs to be done according to whatever I have already talked a little bit about it with Emma on Emma Lynn and Grandpa Rod. Bob Kee. Hi, my name is Rod Duff. I'm the host of Insights and Straight Talk, and I'm a founder of several offshoot things, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Simon asked me to give you a personal message, and he's going to send you along some information. He and I have talked a lot about you and about the community, and not only the success of your business and your family, and but some of the things that you do to get involved with the local communities. And it sounds like some of our missions are a bit aligned. And I really love some of the things as I was pulling information out, looking at some of the things that you get involved in. Obviously, having a ranch and having a horse rescue and donkey ranch is something that really speaks a lot to my heart. I came out here from Chicago because of the show and because my children are just over the border near-ish you in Texas. Texas is a big state, but that some of the things that you get involved in are things that really got me excited about even having an opportunity to chat with somebody like yourself with so many things aligned here. So what do we do? We're Insights and Straight Talk with producer Barbie. She's been involved periodically, and that's a story for another time. But what we have in this channel of ours, and you'll see all the information and the data of where we're going. We started this a year ago, September 17th, and done over 365, maybe closer to 370 shows now. Sorry, I've got a wild background. We're sponsored by the Mangum City Library here. They believe in what we're doing, and again, we'll touch briefly on each one of those things. But I wanted to introduce myself. Again, my name's Rod Duff, and I started this show a year ago, and I had a business, machinery business for over 30 years where I did insights, which was working just with industrial and leaders within different industries, as well as processes. And it was more for marketing of my machinery business. It built up to a nice little business, but it was never something that fulfilled what I wanted to do. And so I went back to my roots in this type of stuff. I started writing a book about the great middle class and the needs that are there. And they're extensive, and they're important, and they're overlooked, and they're ignored. So we have basically we have 4 lanes, one of which we do on Saturday, which is with my granddaughter, Emma Lynn. She's 16, high school sweethearts. going into college, her parents, my son and daughter-in-law, my daughter, who I've known forever now, have a 16-year-old daughter, and my granddaughter. We have a very, very good relationship, and she speaks to empowering teens. And when I say that, you've got to see the show, because, I mean, last show we did together, there were 6,997 people on. We've had several shows in the thousands and multiple thousands, and that's in each lane. So we have a lane that gets involved in AI and business, cryptocurrency, automation, Bitcoin, I shouldn't say Bitcoin, crypto, as well as blockchain, and how business is operating moving forward in the world of AI. The Jetsons are here. They're not just coming, they're here. We have another political and current events. And the reason we get into that is because this is about the whole middle class. And the whole middle class, whether we like it or not, cannot operate without the leadership we have in place. This isn't about one side or the other, red or blue, so to speak. I'm an independent. So is Bernie Sanders. So what does that mean? But at the end of the day, politics is something that affects our lives. So we have the 4 lanes, but there's 2 aspects. I already mentioned my granddaughter, Emma, and that's about the Regeneration School Project, Voices at the Table. There's several lanes within that that we talk about in that aspect. We talk about mental health, spirituality. We talk a lot about spirituality. All this came from a book that I wrote, 13 chapters. The 13th chapter is called Blinded by the Light. And in that, we talk about aspects throughout spirituality and the differences between religions. And, there is a God. And, what are we looking at here? And not to be judging, but to be very astute. Or we have people from each religions on the show, and we talk about how those different religions interact. And my curiosity is brought to the forefront there. But we talk about the school systems. That's chapter 10, and that through my granddaughter Emma birthed the Regeneration School Project, and that birthed several other aspects of which we're working with Mangum here, starting in the library, to build through into the school system in a place that's the county seat, small town, middle America, the great middle class. And then you have a place where it's small enough to be managed in this system and large enough to be politically connected, to a sense, to be scalable nationally. We'll get into all that more as we talk. I'd love to have the opportunity to meet with you, have a conversation with me, you and Simon, meet up one day, however that would best fit for you. I'd love to be able to do some collaboration with you and your family, and I'd love to hear and maybe visit your horse and donkey rescue farm, because that's my dream. That's my retirement dream. With that, I will say a goodbye to you. Just wanted to throw about a few minutes of conversation out here, see if there's anything that you need more questions on. This is the style of the show. We have, like I said, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of audience members asking questions. They're very dedicated and consistent. We do shows 6 days a week, and I would do more, but the numbers start competing with themselves. I'm getting some advice from some people, but we're a one-man show here now. I do this out of love and out of passion, and I want to do it for the rest of my days while I'm on this journey. With that, my friend, I can't wait to meet you. It's an honor to be able to have this, and be able to send it to you. And I hope our conversations go forward and move forward in the future. And with that, I'm your host, Rod Duff of Insights and Straight Talk, and I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.